Hello, my fellow readers. It's I, Dark Symphony 777, with another FanFiction reviews. As always, a link to the stories will be in the description below. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, click on that bell for notifications, and leave a comment in the comment section below on your thoughts on the story. And finally, this is my opinion. My opinion is not indicative of everyone in the world, so please respect that. So, I got a pair of stories this time. I got Family Matters and Helping Hands by Rainbow Double Dash, because we're still making our way through the Luniverse. And the reason I'm doing these two stories at the same time is because chronologically, these two stories do happen at the same time. And since, for the most part, we're not going to be talking about grammar errors, because there's like no grammar errors from what I've seen so far, so that's going to be cut out. And the pacing is going to be pretty much, I'm going to be like repeating myself a lot with the pacing, because the pacing is really good, and the sentence structure, it's all meant to flow like the show. So so there, it's like I have to cut some corners, and I get to expand on the plot and the characters if need be. So let's start with Family Matters. So this is a story starring everyone's favorite wall-eyed male mayor, Derpy, or Ditzy. Depends on your point of view. And long story short, the plot is kind of a combination between following her and following her daughter, Dinky. The plot is... my throat's sore. So just bear with me. So the plot actually follows Dinky basically trying to save up enough money to buy a birthday gift for her mother. She finds out that there is a new jewelry open, owned by this person named Amethyst or Sparkler. She goes there. Sparkler sees Dinky. Dinky doesn't recognize her, but Amethyst Star does. She's like, "You look familiar, but I don't know where." But decides to be a good person anyway, and basically wants to sell her, and is going to sell her the jewelry. Dinky replies that, "Well, I'm buying this jewelry for my mom, Ditzy," and then Amethyst Star just blows off the deep end and basically throws her out. It's like, no, I'm not selling it to you, not to her, after this. And so the story just kind of follows Dinky just trying to convince Sparkler to get the jewelry, to let her buy the jewelry, and Dinky just trying to buy it. That's why I'm done doing these two together. This is the one with the more substantial plot. Yeah, it's just basically Dinky wants to buy jewelry for her mom, and then eventually it is revealed that she gets to get the jewelry. However, the big swerve is the reason why Amethyst Star doesn't like Ditzy is because Ditzy was a very, very naughty mare when she was younger, and she caused an affair with Amethyst Star's father, Castercut. However, Ditzy, didn't really want to, got pregnant with Dinky, and Derpy's family basically dragged Derpy to Castercut's house where Amethyst was still living. Basically said, you're gonna pay for the daughter, and caused the family to break up. And so Amethyst Star basically held a grudge over the course of the entire story. Yeah, there's not much to this story. This is admittedly this is a cute little slice of life, but there's not much substance, because it's just what you see is what you get. Like, it's just, oh, she wants to buy jewelry for her mother. That's good. But we're here for the more substantial stuff. Helping Hands. Oh, this is gonna be this one is entertaining. So Lyra has a show going on. She was asked by Trixie to help her with something. Turns out, Luna's been going around all the dignitaries of Equestria to get allies and stuff like that. One of the things first place she went was the Zebra Lands, because Luna knows that Zecora, a zebra, was helping Corona escape and all that. And so they find out that, yeah, Zecora kind of worked on her own, but they don't know anything about how zebras operate. So Luna gave Trixie a book full of zebra spells, saying, I need you to figure out how this works. Trixie, wanting to be cautious, because, again, just like Luna, Trixie doesn't really know how zebra spells work. So, I think Luna does know how zebra spells work, but she's kind of, I think she's doing the dignitary thing and stuff like that. I lost my train of thought for some reason. Brain fart. Guys are just waking up. So yeah, Trixie needing help basically asks Lyra, hey, I just want to try the spell on you. It'll just turn you from a pony to a zebra. Can we do that? Yes, we'll try that. So Trixie gets this big ornamental stuff, like all this charcoal, quartz, candles, water spritzes ready, and does the spell. And you think, oh, it's gonna turn Lyra into a zebra. No, it turns her into a human. It turns her into a girl. Yeah, this Lyra doesn't know anything about humans. It's like, what are you? Oh, I'm a bear. Oh, you're a bear. A bear. And basically, after that, Lyra basically just tries to figure out what are these on my chest? I don't know what these are. What are these things on my hand? What are these things on my feet? Why is my hair shorter? I don't got horn. I don't have tail. Meanwhile, Trixie is trying to figure out what the hell just went on, and they're basically just trying to fix Lyra, turn her back into a pony before Bon kills Trixie, which Bon does try to happen. It does happen later in the story. Like, oh, they run into Bon. Bon's like, where's Lyra? On her way to Ketla? Yes. Was that Lyra? She's invisible. Yes. Don't worry, she's completely fine. And then Trixie runs out of magic, and then basically just like, oh, I'm a bear now. Bon. Bon, you're dead. What are you doing? No, stop choking, Trixie. So yeah, it turns out the reason why they got the spell wrong is because the people that were in charge of translating it were a bunch of idiots. It's like, oh, we're gonna translate it. We're gonna translate each part and then combine that. You're stupid. No, we're not. Yes, you are. You very are. And basically just, yeah. Meanwhile, before they confront the translators, Trixie basically helps Lyra. Turns herself into Lyra to the point where even Lyra's impressed. Is like, this is impressive. Granted, Bon kind of falls for it and makes out with Trixie, and then we find out Trixie ain't into that. It's like, employ soundproof. Why? After Corona got beaten, I heard you too. Yeah, invest in soundproofing. Yeah. So Trixie disguises herself as Lyra, pretends to be Lyra, and basically puts on the show while Trixie has the real Lyra, invisible, playing the instrument. So she basically, and she even decides, like, maybe humans not so bad. And then she gets a paper cut. It's like, ow, this hurts. Turn me back. And so the story kind of ends with the translators getting fired and Bob not killing Trixie. Granted, there is a bonus chapter where instead of turning into human, Trixie accidentally turns Lyra into an alicorn, and she's like, don't worry, Lyra. I'll be there. I'll be with you. I'm your friend. Give me Give me the eloquent powers now. Wait, what? No! Trixie! You promised! I lied! I lied! So yeah, those are the plots of the two stories. We have one that's just very, very simplistic. Just a daughter wanting to do something nice for her mother, and then finding out that the person who owns her had a history with her mother. And this one's just overly silly. It's overly goofy, overly silly. It's entertaining. In terms of characters, Helping Hand doesn't really have any way in the sense of character development. This is meant to be a sort of comedic story. I mean, they do. Lyra does get happy. We find out that Trixie is like apparently asexual, and Bonbon and Lyra kind of learning that Bonbon has anger issues, but nothing. But there's nothing too deep with the characters. They do function just fine. They do function well enough in this context, especially in a comedy where you're not expecting deep character development. You're just expecting something dumb and silly. And that's what this is. It's just dumb and silly. However, Family Matters does have the deeper characters. It has Dinky, Sparkler, and Ditzy. We find out that Ditzy, if you actually read the first Luniverse story, Longest Night, Longest Day, you find out that Ditzy was very hesitant to accept the element of kindness, thinking that she doesn't deserve it. It's actually a reference to what happened with Castercut. She was very, very not kind and caused the family to break up, and that's kind of what caused her hesitation. I think that's a really nice touch. With Ditzy, continuing on, we have her doubts, we have her understanding of not wanting to be involved with Sparkle because she actually understands that Sparkler is going to hate her, and she even understands that she might not forgive her, and Derpy's actually okay with that. So Derpy's like, fine, you can hate me all you want, just don't hate my daughter. Don't hate my daughter for what I did. And then we have Sparkler, who acts like a normal pony, normal person, very kind, very full of customer service, and then she gets completely mad, justifiably mad over finding out that Dinky's mother is Derpy, and all these emotions that are kind of warring on her when continuously dealing with Dinky. It's like, no, I don't want you, and then she just completely. And then at the end, she breaks into tears over like all the weight crashing down on her, and she needed some lift, and dealing with Dinky kind of just broke it. And then we had Dinky, who is very determined to want to help her mother, say that you're the best mother in the world, you're the best male mayor in the world. They don't own a lot of money. Because it's a sort of if you love what you do, you never have to work a day in your life. They live above the mail house. And Dinky understands that, and she wants to do something nice. Saves up money for a whole year working for Fluttershy. That's really nice. And there's even a point at the beginning of the story where Dinky constantly distracted at school because she has all the money in her purse, and then when Cheerilee figures out she's distracting her, it's like, I don't have money I don't have 100 coins in my bag. You have 100 coins in my no. And it got to the point where Cheerilee sees the coins, like, ooh. And then you can go outside to eat. You open the door and everyone's just staring at her, saying, "Do you have 100 coins in your bag?" It's like, I'll eat inside. Yeah, eat inside. Inside, Dinky. Inside. But yeah, this has the better story. These have the better characters, I would say. I don't think either of these stories are bad. They're good. They're good in their own way. This is more developing one of the elements of harmony. This one's more just telling a fun, quirky story. There is one thing I do want to mention for the pacing for this story specifically, is it does set up a very, very valuable plot point that's gonna actually be a recurring plot theme across the second half of season 1, where Trixie is actually going through the spell books and comes across a specific spell called Truth for a Scourge, which is a truth potion. Basically, you're forcing your opponent, whoever drinks it, to tell the truth. And she basically, when they capture the when they basically force the translators to do it, so I also want a copy of that spell. That spell is going to come into play later in the series. And that's all I really wanted to say about the pacing. Because, like I said, the grammar's good. The pacing's good for both stories. There's not really any grammar errors. There's not any pacing errors. But yeah. Would I recommend these two stories? Yeah, I would. I would recommend these two stories. I think they're not great stories, but in terms of more world, but this story has better, really good characters. This one kind of more, I guess you could say, in terms of the greater scope of the Looniverse, this one kind of does more of the world building, at least a little bit, because we have to deal with zebras and mistranslation, and also kind of gives us a better handling on how that this is going to be like more adult. These two stories, because would you picture Friendship is Magic doing a story about affairs and also um, bastards, basically, but bastards in like the dictionary sense of like a baby born out of wedlock. So like Dinky is technically, if you go by that definition, a bastard. But yeah, I would recommend both these stories. Granted, the next stories I'm going to review, they're going to be really, really trying. But yeah, I think these stories are good. They're not great. If I had to pick a favorite moment, probably this story has Sparkler breaking down, and this story has the bonus chapter. It's actually just like a very funny chapter. But yeah, that's basically it for these two stories. Like I said, this is gonna be short. I will see you next time on my next review, which will be you're actually seeing this. I have to go down. It will be Griffin over the line and ill communication. Those are the ones I gotta do next. I will see you then. This has been Dark Symphony 777, and